afternoon everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot's back with you again with another scenery review. Actually a product that we've looked at some time ago before. This is a new version. Where are we? We're in the Bahamas, in the lovely, wonderful, scenic part of the Caribbean. And this is Nassau Pindling Airport, Mike Yankee November. This is the payware scenery by Sierrasim. And this is a new version 2 for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. There is a 2024 version available, but it's for a separate price. The download comes in at 1.23 gigs and it installs at just over 2 gigs, 2.14 gig. It's available from Sim Market currently and comes in at a price of €20.40, which equates to roughly $22.79 US. Or £17.17 UK. The UK and US prices are estimates taken from the euro, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which of course could vary depending on your country of purchase. Now, looking at this new version, this seems to be a whole lot more. There seems to be a whole lot more detail in this version than there was in the previous versions. I've looked at a couple of Nassau sceneries. It's a nice part of the world to go flying into, and because it's such a popular tropical place, you really want the best you can find. But they've done a lot of work here. There's a lot more here. They've modelled the interior of the terminal and added people as well, so we'll be looking at that. We'll also be looking at a livery for the PMDG Boeing 737-700 BahamasAir. I'll talk some more about that in a moment. Okay, so right now let's look at features. Okay, features. The features of the new version 2 of the scenery. We have ground images, ground texture, many airport objects, internal terminal is modelled, I believe they've got people as well. Optimised for good performance with the level of detail being used, or the LODs. Night lighting, custom jetways, static traffic, and 3D taxiway lights. There's also a GSX profile available specifically for this scenery. It's on Flightsim.To. It's by a gentleman called Rico33. I'll put the link in the description below. And lastly, we'll be featuring obviously a livery as well. We've got the PMDG Boeing 737-700 in the colours of BahamasAir by a gentleman known as Mike V. That's in 8K. Again, I'll put the link in the description below if it's something you're interested in. But right now, let's have a look at that livery. Okay, so here we are back on stand Charlie 44. This is the PMDG Boeing 737-700 version. And it's painted in the livery in the colours of BahamasAir. This is a repaint by a person known as Mike V. And it's done in 8K, and again it's available on Flightsim.To. The link will be in the description below if it's something you're interested in. It looks kind of simple, but actually when you look at the other bits and pieces here, I mean, the detail's quite impressive. And the colouring is really good. It's all true to life for the real aircraft during the research that I've done. So starting at the front of the aircraft here, we've got ground power plugged in, and you can see the various bits and pieces on the outside of the aircraft, the pitot tubes and the static vents and the other little things. The doorway's been done here as well, and you've got all the small bits and pieces with all the small details that are nicely done. The paint job's really nice. I think it is. I just like it. So as we move slowly towards the rear of the aircraft, you can see all of the detail on the engine as well. And you can see through partially obscured windows there. And as we get closer, again you can see a really good amount of detail on this repaint. And there's the tail in all its glory. Oh, it's a lovely repaint, and you can see all of the work here as well underneath. It's really good. Here you've got the ADS satellite tracking system. It's built onto the aircraft, and you can see the top of the wings here. And there's the wing detail, complete with the escape area. This is the emergency exit door, over wing exit. And once again, the detail on the blended wing. It looks really good. So as we have a look at the port side, again the same amount of detail and attention has been given to this side. Landing gear looks great. And again you've got the wing detail there. And it all looks really good. Here on the L1 door you can even see all of the writing, which looks great. So let's have a little look inside and see if what's been done, if anything. So here we are, it's a one class system. It doesn't look as though anything really has been done. We'll have a look forward. Today we're looking forward. As you can see, it's the default PMDG interior, which looks perfectly acceptable. Okay, so there you go. That was a look at this PMDG 737-700. The interior is the standard default model. I don't think anything's been done inside of the cabin, but the outside repaint is excellent. It's as per the real aircraft from the research I've done, and I think it's a lovely repaint. And it's the 737-700 BahamasAir by a person called Mike V. This is done in 8K. And as I said, the repaint's available on Flightsim.To, and I'll put the link in the description below if you want it. So that was a look at this. Now let's talk some history. Okay, so history then for you. So Lyndon Pindling International Airport, Mike Yankee November, formerly known as Nassau International Airport, is a public-use international airport owned by the Nassau Airport Development Company, which is essentially the government of the Bahamas, and operated by the Vantage Airport Group. It is the largest airport in the Bahamas and the largest international gateway into the country. It's a major hub for BahamasAir, Western Air and Pineapple Air. Located in western New Providence Island near the capital city of Nassau, the airport is named after Lyndon Pindling, the first Prime Minister of the Bahamas. In August 1942, Number 111 Coastal Operational Training Unit, RAF, was established at Nassau Airport to train reconnaissance crews using the North American Mitchell bomber and the Consolidated Liberator aircraft. In December that year, the airport was named Windsor Field, after the Duke of Windsor, and became a Royal Air Force station. Windsor Field was the second airport in the Bahamas at the time and was used for delivery flights of all US-built fighter and bomber aircraft, such as the Boeing B-17 and the Consolidated B-24 bombers, from the aircraft manufacturers to North African and European theatres during World War II. It was also a base station for the Consolidated Liberators and Mitchell patrol bombers combating the German Navy's U-boat threat. In August 1945, the 111 RAF training unit returned to the UK and was disbanded. After the Second World War, in June 1946, the RAF withdrew from Windsor Field and it reverted to civilian use. Oaks Field, now Thomas Robinson Stadium, remained as the main airport in the Bahamas due to its close proximity to downtown Nassau. Oaks International Airport was kept in operation until midnight, the 1st of November 1957, when Nassau International Airport at Windsor Field was brought into full operation. The name of the airport was officially changed in July 2006 in honour of the Right Honourable Sir Lyndon Pindling, who was the first Prime Minister of the Bahamas from 1967 until 1992. Sir Lyndon is recognised as the father of the nation, having led the Bahamas to majority rule in 1967, as well as full independence from the United Kingdom within the British Commonwealth some 6 years later. With more than 3 million passengers and over 80,000 takeoffs and landings, the airport had reached its capacity by 2011, and its facilities were outdated and insufficient. In 2006, Nassau Airport Development Company, or the NAD, entered a 10-year management agreement with YVR Airport Services Limited, the commercial arm of Vancouver Airport Authority, to manage, operate and redevelop the airport. As of October 2013, the airport now features 10 jet bridge capable gates. Other features include 4 gates capable of taking the Boeing 747 sized aircraft, and 1 capable of handling the Airbus A380 Superjet. An additional 1 million square feet of airport operating surface has been added, and there are also 24 new retail outlets and 16 bars and lounges located across the sprawling terminal complex. In 2008, the airport handled 3.2 million passengers, and it is expected that the expansion will allow for roughly 5.2 million passengers by 2020. The airport contains US border pre-clearance facilities, allowing all US flights to operate as domestic flights upon arrival at their destination. In February 2015, the US border pre-clearance facility installed 20 automated passenger control self-serve kiosks to improve the efficiency of passenger processing for United States bound travelers. Currently, over 23 airlines operate into and out of Nassau. So there you are, folks, a bit of a history for you. It's been around since the war and been a real pivotal airport during that time for various operations from this side of the Atlantic. So let's now look at the runway situation here. Okay, so runways and navigational aids. So previously, in a recent review, there was conflicting AIP chart data information about Nassau Airport, and currently, however, Navigraph and other sources that I've looked at are now more current, and I can correctly show the runway details. So Nassau Airport operates 2 runways. Runway 1432 is the longest, measuring 11,107 feet or 3,385 meters. Runway 1028 is the shorter of the two, measuring just 8,323 feet or 2,537 meters in length. Both runways are made from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of just 16 feet or 5 meters and sits within the GMT UTC -5 hours time zone. Now, the Bahamas do indeed observe daylight saving time, or DST, and since both the UK and the Bahamas are now on their respective summer times, Nassau remains 5 hours behind the UK. Okay, so here we are looking down the throat of runway 14 to begin with, which features high-intensity runway lighting, simplified short approach lighting system, and precision approach path indicators on the left side. So here's the simplified short approach lighting system. They've got a center line here, which isn't on the chart, and they've also got runway and identifier lights, again, which isn't on the charts. But as I've said many times before, I'm quite happy with things that are added. Anything that makes the landings and takeoffs easier is useful. It's perfectly okay. But these 2 items are not on the charts. I will deal with approaches at the end of this section because they refer mostly to both runways. So that's runway 14. Let's have a look at runway 32, the other end. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 32, the other end. You can see we've got sunset there. It's nearly 7:45 in the evening. The date of this video, 14th of May 2025, if anybody's interested. So runway 32, high intensity runway lighting, and again precision approach path indicators on the left side. And as you can see, they've also left in the runway and identifier lights and the centerline lights. But the PAPI's on the left, that's correct. You can also see the lighting barriers here as well, for blue airfield edge lights and green centerline lights, all of which are going to be helpful to you. So the runway is perfectly okay at both ends, with the exception that they've left in, or they've added, the runway end identifier lights and the centerline at both ends. Okay, so let's go and have a look at runway 10. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 10, which features high intensity runway lighting, omnidirectional approach lighting system, which you can see here, and precision approach path indicators again on the left hand side. So all correct, but once again they've left in the runway and identifier lights and the centerline lights again, which are not on the charts. The Jefferson chart I'm looking at, by the way, is the 12th of April 2024, which I believe is the current version. But yeah, all looks good. It even looks like you've got WIGWAGS here as well, which could be useful. So let's check out the other end, runway 28. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 28, which really only features the high intensity runway lighting. There's nothing else. However, as you can see, they've left in the runway end identifier lights and the centerline lighting. No PAPIs listed for this runway. I'll just double check that. Yeah, just double check that. There's no PAPIs listed for this runway. So these, again, have obviously been left into the simulation. But you've got no PAPIs, no centerline, and no approach lighting or runway end identifiers. None of these are on the charts. The only thing runway 28 features is the high intensity runway lighting. So, and to be honest, there are no approach options listed for runway 28. So talking of approach options, let's talk about them. You've got runway 14, runway 10 and runway 32. For all of those runways you have RNAV GNS approach option, you've got a VOR Y and Z approach option, and there's also a surveillance radar element or SRE approach option. The only other additions, runway 14, which I believe would be the main operating runway, has a standard instrument landing system. So it's the only runway N that has an ILS. All of the others have RNAV and VOR approach options available to you. But as I said, nothing listed for runway 28, this end that we're looking at in terms of approach options. So I would suspect this is takeoffs only, or operations during visual conditions, daylight or so. However, in the simulation, because you've got PAPIs on the left and you've got decent lighting here, you could probably do a visual approach at night here if you're skilled enough to carry that out. So that was runways. Now let's turn our attention to the jetways here at this airport. Okay, so jetways. So here we are on gates Charlie 44. We've got markings on the ground here, as you can see. And you can see we spawn directly from the menu. We're pretty much on the 737 line, which is here. So that's worked out pretty well. So let's do a jetway test. So there it goes. Once again, the stairs sink into the concrete, which is about 90% of the jetways I watch anyway, so not really an issue. And that looks to be a reasonable connection from where we are now. Let's get a bit closer. Okay, so the connection is close enough. It's not quite made it here, and the hood has gone through the aircraft skin. All of this is normal. We see this quite a lot, but no big deal. Let's have a look from the other side. So here's the view from the other side. As we can see, once again, the hood has gone through the aircraft skin, but the connection's reasonably good. I mean, this is pretty close. We'll have to see inside in a moment. And here you can see we spawn pretty much right on the 737 mark. So let's pop inside the jetway head. So here we are inside the jetway head, and you can see clearly that's gone through the skin of the aircraft here. So we'll open the door and see whether the door actually infringes the side of the jetway. So that looks pretty good. The door's opened and it's clear of the side of the jetway hood, which is good. Here you can see we've got a big issue with the connection. I mean, this really wouldn't be accepted in the real world. But yeah, you know, it's okay. It's as good as it can be. And once again, you can see the jetway end door is closed, even though the jetway is connected. I really would love to see developers start to use their initiative here and make the ends of the jetway clear for when they connect to an aircraft and closed when they move away from an aircraft. It really would be useful. So there we're looking at the other side, and you can see the hood and everything has gone right into the aircraft, which is a pity. Not the worst connection I've seen, but there you go. So let's have a look out from the inside. So there we are looking at the jetway from inside the aircraft, and you can see there's a significant drop here, which is a pity, but there you go. And here in the cabin you can see actually not just the hood, but the hard part of the jetway has actually gone into the side of the aircraft. And probably the same is true here, but because of the bulk behind the pilot's door here, we can't see exactly where it's gone in. But this looks okay, to be honest. So there you go, not the worst connection I've seen, and certainly not the best either, but it looks okay. And you've got some weathering on the jetway too. This is perfectly acceptable. Visually it looks fine. So let's just disconnect the jetway. Once again the hood has sprung back. And everything returns to normal. Yeah, not bad at all. I mean, it's no worse than any others I've seen really, but at least it works. So there you go, working jetway, one of many. I assume the others all work too, but yeah, it looks okay. So that was a jetway test, and let's get down to the airport proper and have a look and see what this product is presenting us with today. Okay, so welcome back. We're going to start at the southeast end of the airport. We're looking at the ODESSEY fixed base operator. You've got runway 32 threshold to the right hand side there. So here you can see this ODESSEY fixed base operator has been fully modelled. You know me, I love palm trees, so it all looks pretty good. And you've got, these are the static aircraft referred to in the features list. Nice to see them all added, to be honest. They all look a bit bare. I don't know, maybe there isn't the livery for ODESSEY, I'm not sure. But there you've got hangars and all sorts of aircraft and bits and pieces all over the place here. That looks nice. I mean, this isn't even the main part of the airport, and it looks really nice. So just a couple of quick shots around the ODESSEY. Don't want to spend too much time here, but just to show you the sort of detail that we're looking at in this new updated version. Well, the aircraft models are more than acceptable. The buildings are all textured and weathered. Well, it looks pretty impressive. They probably look really good at night, to be honest. So here's the FBO itself, various vehicles and add-ons that you need. It's a nice looking building, and you've got a couple of guys here, a couple of people. So just a close-up look at the main entrance, and you can see what they've done here. They've got a high-resolution parallax going on, which gives you the impression that you can see inside. But once again, they've spared no expense here. This little area, southwest and southeast of the airport, they've done a really nice modelling job here. And here's landside of that building. There's the entrance to the terminal. And finally another landside shot showing you looking sort of southeast there to the rest of the area. It looks great. It really does look nice. It's nice to see that they spend a lot of time and effort on an area that most pilots who might fly in here might never even look at. So here's the entrance to runway 32 threshold. You can see to the right there, and we've got really good signage on plinths in the ground properly, and we've got wigwags, and I believe we've got wigwags at pretty much every entrance to the runway here as well. So a little short hop across the runway, and the runway texture is actually pretty good. It's fully asphalt, but as you can see out here they get some wonderful weather, and so the asphalt sort of tends to bleach, which is why you get this sort of light white effect. Okay, we've got a fire engine going down the runway there. That's bad news, but there we go. So as you can see, plenty of taxiway signage, and as I said, there appears to be wigwags at pretty much every entrance. There you can see the flashing runway end identifier lights. Very nice indeed. So here we come to this part here. We're in the middle part of the area now on the east side. And once again, more static aircraft, but still plenty of space for you to park. Oh, it looks lovely, it really does. Nice big open hangar here with an aircraft inside. And you've got an old 737-200 sitting in there, complete with chocks and a really nicely modelled interior of the hangar. So there you get a look at the main landside car park. We'll go landside in a minute. So here we're coming across to the main airside area. And the terminal looks impressive. It really does. You've got stands here, look, that don't have gates, and you've got some that do. But the terminal building from the outside looks very, very realistic from the research that I've done. Here's my BahamasAir parked on Charlie 44. It just looks good, it really does. And there you can see the airside fence down there. And yeah, cars look good, they seem to be in their slots, so nothing has been literally thrown down. It looks like it's been done pretty well. Here you've got a little cargo centre and one or two buildings, a couple off airport there as well. So we crossed the threshold of runway 14. What you've got here are water tanks. I initially thought they were fuel, but no, these are water tanks. Sitting on the west side of the airport, there's the runway 14 threshold. There's also a windsock down there, which is good. And again, you've got a couple of buildings that have been modelled here as well. It all looks nice, really does. It just seems to be a big improvement. It looks better. For me, at the moment, from what I've seen, this is the best version of this, and it's crying out to bring the 777 in here from Heathrow. Okay, let's get down to the stand and have a look. Okay, so here we are on the main ramp area, just a couple of shots locally, plenty of vehicles. They all look reasonably good. Not the best in the world, but they're okay, they look good, and you've got roving vehicles as well. There's my aircraft on Charlie 44. And we just do a very quick daytime tour of the airside area before we go into the terminal and have a look. But as you can see, the ground markings, the weathering, I mean, it looks pretty realistic, to be honest. It's great, you're not going to have any trouble here, it looks good. And you can see partially through the windows there as well, which is a good thing. Okay, so talking of windows, here's the view from the flight deck with your parked on stands at Charlie 44. Here you've got, you can see partially inside the windows. Be interesting to see what it looks like in the darkness hours. There's a view from the captain's window with the jetway disconnected. And looking out over the ramp from the first officer's side. Okay, so let's move inside the terminal and have a look and see what the development is like. Here from outside, airside, you can already see we've got people and things inside, so this looks to be quite a nice development. And there we are. Well, it looks quite nice, and you've got a nice lady there. So as you can see, we've got plenty of people, statics, all looks pretty good. Signage looks great, and you've got some nice foliage as well. Well, let's have a look and see whether we can see this signboard. Okay, as we get close, it's not very easy to see, but that's okay. Okay, so a quick tour down the pier. Let's see what we've got here. I mean, it looks nice. Okay, no check-in staff at the gate there, but the gates all look good. Again, you've got the high-resolution parallaxing there where there are windows here to the left as well, which makes it look a bit better than it might otherwise be. But you see, you've got people here queuing up at a gate, but no gate staff. But the shops, the resolution's good enough for you to be able to see that, and I think it's going to look good at night as well. So let's go into this building and see what's done, if anything. Okay, so nothing on the main side here. So it would appear that the piers have been done, but the main body of the terminal hasn't. So we have a look at another pier here, and again you can see we've got internal development and modelling, again with passengers all looking pretty good. And yeah, I mean, it's fine, it's quite acceptable. Okay, so let's have a look at landside, starting from this end here. As you can see, plenty of cars, there's plenty of difference as well. There's lots of different cars, and they're pretty much all parked in the way they should be. So here's the landside area. I like the concrete stone effect down there, looks pretty good. Again, you can see extensive use of high resolution parallax screens. Plenty of good foliage that makes it look good. So we've got taxis and vehicles here. Yes, we've got one or two people. There's one guy there. Let's see, hopefully we've got a few more people. I can see one. Taxi models look pretty good, but they're missing the word taxi on the top. So here you can see the odd person here and there. Would have liked to have seen a bit more, but then there you go. But it's good. It's good. There we are. We've got a couple more at this end. So I like this. It's great. So as you can see from here, we've got landside here, you've got people. We can also see some internal development landside. So let's go in and have a look at the terminal landside. And there we go, we've got a fully developed interior here landside, which looks great. So you've got various people lined up at check-in. Unfortunately, we don't have any check-in staff. That's the only thing really that's missing. But it looks fine, the development looks fine, and it's just what they should have done, you know, it's fine. Now you've got all the various check-in desks and all the various airlines that fly into here. And again, you've got the use of high resolution parallaxing there too. And it's good, it all works. So we pop out to landside again and continue to have a look at the landside area here. This is obviously the lower area. I do love this place, the palm trees and everything. I'd love to go here at some point. So there you've got the entrance road, you've got the odd car here and there, but it's nice to see the cars parked in their slots and the entrance road all done in 3D, all properly modelled. But there you can see landside, I mean, it all looks pretty real. It's been a much better improvement here in the way this has been modelled and the way it looks. Both airside and landside looks great. You've got an airport that looks impressive. Okay, so that was the daytime. Let's drop it down to dusk now and have a look at the lighting effects. Okay, it's 7:45 in the evening local time. As I said, this is the 14th of May 2025 is the date of this video. Lights came on about 3 minutes ago, and here we are looking at the main terminal area on the north side here. And lots of subtle lighting going on, which I think really brings this to life a bit more. Especially here, you can also see the jetway ends are lit. You've got green centerline taxiway lights, which are going to help you certainly at night time. And again, various buildings and hangars with various degrees of lighting that looks pretty good. Can't see any asobo globes from here, certainly airside. So there we are looking towards the southeast. You've got the the ambulance and Jet Nassau areas here on the left, and then you've got the fixed-based operator down at the bottom, also with plenty of lighting, it would appear. There you've got the water tanks we looked at earlier, and you've got the sun sinking over the horizon there. It looks beautiful. Okay, time to look at some signage, and once again we have this wonderful situation where the signs are lit, but they glow into the ground as well, which to me makes it look more realistic. I don't know why, but it just does. So here we are, Taxiway Papa, looking towards the main terminal, and there you've got the WIGWAGS, the blue airfield edge lights, and the whole thing just looks pretty real. They've done a nice job with the way runways and taxiways are lit in the darkness hours. It looks really impressive. And while we're on this side of the airport, let's get a close look at the control tower, see what, if anything, has been modelled here. So once again, some nice subtle lighting. You've got some parking vehicle cars parked down there too. Let's get a close up of the tower. So the tower is modelled, no internal development except the fact that it is modelled. You've got the glass as well, and you've got the lights on the top. There should be a red light on top of the tower, which is a mandatory requirement under IATA regulations, but anyway, chosen not to do it. And there you can see the inside of the tower has been modelled as such. It's been done, but there's nothing in it other than this sort of table, but they've got some lighting. Be nice to see this maybe added a bit more, a couple of people, and developed a bit more, just for completeness really, if nothing else. And there we are looking from the other side, and to be honest it looks better this side, because you've got here the entrance to the tower and the delivery road, a couple of palm trees and some very nice lighting, a little bit of parallaxing going on here and there. The building's nicely weathered. It looks better from this side, but as I said, we need a red light up here, because that's mandatory, and it would be nice to see this with a couple of guys in, or a controller inside. I don't know, we'll see. Well, it looks good, doesn't it? It really does. Yeah, it looks much better. And again, you can see the interior of the piers that have been modelled with people. It looks very good. As we cross over to landside, the building looks great. You can now see inside the terminal landside. The car park is nicely lit. And here we'll pass back over to airside. And there you can see inside the landside part of the terminal. And it's very nicely done. The lighting makes a big difference, and there you can see lights on the end of the jetways as well, and there's the pier internally that you can see. Okay, back in the flight deck again. Here's the view at dusk from the inside of the cockpit, and it's nice. You know, you've got all this that you'll see when you park up on the stand, and again you can see through the windows some nice lighting inside the building, which gives a nice effect when you pull up on stand here. Again, a quick view from the captain's side, and looking across from the first officer's side. It's nice. It's a realistic view when you pull up here. So just a couple of close-up shots of the main ramp. As you can see, plenty of clutter, all nicely parked in the safe area. And the aircraft looks good under this lighting as well. So there's the airside road, various vehicles parked off the road as well. It's all done in 3D. And again, you can see through the windows into the terminal, which just makes it look more realistic. It just looks good, it really does. So much better than the original version. It just looks more realistic. They've kind of brought it up to date. And they've done a nice job from what we can see so far. So a quick look at the fixed-based operator here on the southern side of the field. Again, plenty of lighting. You know, if you've got private jets you want to park down here, you're catered for, which is great. Lovely to see this developed as well. So there's a high level shot, and you've got the sunset going down nicely on the right hand side there, control tower in the distance. Let's drop it down to night time now. Okay, 10 PM local time, and here you can see we're in the dead of night and the lighting has come up significantly all across the airport, but it looks good. It doesn't look brash at all. It's been very nicely done. And there we are looking towards the southeast where the fixed base operator is, the Odyssey area, and you've got that beautiful moon sinking over the horizon there. What a beautiful shot. And looking in the other direction. So let's get down to the ramp and have a look and see what it looks like now at night time. Okay, so here we are on stand Charlie 44. Here's the Bahamas aircraft sitting on the gate there. So this all looks a little bit white. It's just a little bit over the top, but I don't know. You've got these lights here that are pretty bright and they're casting quite a large amount of light, so that's probably to be expected. But everything else looks pretty subtle here. On the stand it looks pretty impressive. The lighting's good. You can see into the terminal as well, what's going on through here, which looks good. And there's a view just above the airside road. We're looking inside the terminal from airside. And looking down the airside road from this direction, you've got the aircraft parked there on the right hand side. So just a quick pass over. I love that view of the moon, it's beautiful. With just a quick pass over here, generally to look at the airside area at night time, which I think looks great. You're not going to have any problems parking up or finding your way around. There are plenty of green centerline lights, and the lighting here on the ramp looks really good. All of it looks just brilliant. We'll go landside now. It just looks great. Look at that. Very nice subtle lighting landside too. And we crossed into the car parks. It looks good. It's a huge improvement. Just everywhere you look, the lighting is very nice. The car parks look great. You've got these palm trees here and there. It really does look like the Bahamas. And you've got a bit of parallaxing going on here and there on some of the buildings, which just makes it just adds to it, and it just improves it hugely. It's very nice. There we've got the open hangar with the aircraft inside. It's excellent. And as I said before, you've got these little sort of insignificant areas that you might call it, and even these areas have been done and developed. Very nice indeed. So a very quick view from inside the flight deck at night time. Not much change from dusk actually, but it does look pretty nice. And just for a change, there's an over wing view looking out of the port side. Okay, so that was night time. Let's bring the dawn up now and see what the effect is as the dawn comes up. Okay, just after 6:30 in the morning, and you can see the red glow on the buildings now as the sun comes up behind me. And the moon makes a more shrinking appearance in the distance. So there you got the water towers, there's a control tower, and here's the main terminal from landside. All looks pretty impressive. They're looking towards the southeast. We've got the jet area here and the Odyssey fixed base operator down there. And there we are looking towards the sort of the west, northwest area. And finally the sun rises in the east. Okay, 7:30 in the morning, pretty much an hour later, time to wrap up the review and give you my thoughts. No question about it, version 2 is a huge improvement over the previous version, and to be honest, at the moment this looks to be the best version of Nassau available to date, in my considered opinion. They've done a wonderful job. Both of the piers are developed with people and shops to a varying degrees, but it's good enough. Landside has been done. You've got the check-in areas with a few people here and there. Not as fully developed as I'd had hoped, but they've done enough, I think, to satisfy most people. Again, no frame rate issues that I can see, and landside has been all fully developed in 3D. Car parks all look great. I mean, there's no question it's been a huge improvement. And they've not left out the little details as well. Over here, big open hangar for you to have a look at. And for those of you who bring private jets in here, you've got the fixed-based operator down here on the southeast side, all fully developed at night time as well. And all of the little landmarks that should be here, the water tanks, are also here. There's one or two bits and pieces off airport as well. Plenty for you to keep you busy. And if you're just flying in here and you're going to pull up to the terminal, well, it looks as realistic as we can get at the moment. And if it looks like this in 2020, it'd be interesting to see what it looks like in Flightsim 2024. I'm hoping one day soon to get the new PC I promised myself, so that I can get 2024 installed. But I like this, I really do. It's a huge step up from the previous version. It's very, very nice indeed. What about the price? Well, I think it's worth the price. 20 euros, just over 20 euros, just over $22 US. Again, for the amount of work and detail that's been put into this, yeah, no question about it, I think it's fine. Okay, there are some developers that do this at level of detail and a bit more, and it's a bit cheaper. But in terms of sort of redress for the work they've done, yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy to pay what I paid for it. And remember, those prices that I've quoted include VAT as well. They include tax. And for some of our North American customers, the tax is not quite as much as we pay here in Europe, so it actually might turn out to be a bit cheaper. But no, it's great, and it's also good to see that you've got a GSX profile available specifically for this product. It's on Flightsim.To. Link will be in the description below. So for GSX users, you're well catered for as well. But it's great. No real issues to talk about. Okay, the runways have got things added to them that are not on the charts, but again, anything that helps you make a landing at night or a takeoff in the darkness hours is fine by my judgment, as it were. I don't see any real navigational aid or runway issues that the charts that I would complain about, to be honest. It looks great. Yeah, thoroughly recommended. If you want to go into Nassau, and I need to fly the 777 in here, or anything else for that matter, it looks great. And we've got the BahamasAir 737 down there, lovely repaint, so a couple of nice flights locally from the States. Yeah, it's great, it really is. So there you are, folks. It's Nassau, Linden, Pindling Airport, Mike Yankee, November, November. A payware scenery, the new version 2 from Sierrasim, and it's for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. There is a 2024 version available. That's at a separate price. Download comes in at 1.23 gig and it installs at 2.14 gig, just over 2 gigs. Currently available from Sim Market and priced at €20.40, which equates to $22.79 US, or £17.17 UK. The US and UK prices are estimates taken from the euro, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which of course could vary depending on which country you're in when you purchase it. A lovely airport, hugely developed now, just looking so much better, and crying out to be flown in and out of. So there you are, folks. Thank you for watching. Hope this has been useful. Hope you've enjoyed the review, and yeah, fly in here and enjoy it. It's a lovely product. So thank you for watching. My name's Lee. Thank you for supporting my efforts in bringing these videos to you. I think we've got a couple more to come out, but I do have a kind of a busy week this week with my kid's birthday. But I will continue to bring videos out as and when. So there we go. But thank you for those people that have supported, for those people who bought me a coffee, and for those people who value the reviews that I produce. Thanks again. You guys take care. Safe flying, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.